Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be talking about Sora being the final Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC character. And we're at the end now. That's it. That's the character that's going to be finishing off this pack. Now, I would have loved to have done a reaction to it. It would have been fun, but unfortunately the direct was on at a time when I was at work, so I didn't really get a chance, and I didn't see the point of trying to do a fake reaction when I got home. That just wouldn't be very fun. But we now know that the final character is Sora. We now know that this was almost a possibility for them to a degree, just because of how much they have to go through licensing. And to see Disney's, like the name Disney down there in the credits is kind of nuts, isn't it, really, to think. But overall, I can definitely say that having finished the Fighter Pass with this, I think this is a big announcement. You're never going to please everyone, right? We have to accept that. You're never going to please everyone. Yes, it is another Sword Fighter, technically. We get way too many of them. But this was a good way. I think it was either going to be Sora or it was going to be Master Chief. I really did think that if it was going to be a third party, they made the most sense. But at the same time, I also kind of thought Sora's such a big character, he'd be in the next game. So I'm actually, I was wrong on that. I definitely said in my predictions that he wouldn't be in it. But now we have him, he looks a lot simpler than some of the other characters we've had in the game. He's definitely got a lot of love that they've clearly put in. You can tell that Sakurai is clearly a fan of the games. He's played all of them. I mean, he plays a lot of games anyway, but he's clearly a fan, and you can see the love that's been put into this, and that's really, really great. And he does that with every character. You saw that with Terry, and Banjo, and Hero, and Sephiroth, and Min. Like, when he goes and makes a character, he puts he puts all that effort into them. And looking over all the DLC, you kind of have to just think, wow, like most of these characters have had an insane amount of care put into them. All the new characters in this game, so every single character they've added in, pretty much are probably the most advanced characters that they've made in certain aspects. Maybe you could argue that Isabelle and Ridley maybe not, but I mean Simon and K. Rool have unique mechanics. So does most of the DLC characters. I think Hero's got mana. Terry's got like combat mechanics, all this sort of stuff. Like, there's all these things that they've done, and to finish with Sora, who is a bit simpler, which is not a bad thing. He's a bit simpler. It's quite nice because it means that his learning curve probably won't be particularly difficult. He might be hard to use, well, but you're gonna pick him up and use him pretty easily. Obviously, being a kind of another Square rep, I mean, obviously a conversation with Square and a conversation with Disney there, like, we have got really good tracks in the game. There's definitely a lot of good Kingdom Hearts music that isn't in this game, and that's unfortunate. But it still seems kind of crazy that he is the final character. Like, if you go and watch the reaction to this is a big reaction. I will say this, I don't think he is the biggest reaction I've seen to. I actually think Steve and some of the other characters in it, I think Sephiroth had quite a big one as well. But the thing is, it depends on who you watch react. If you watch the people reacting that absolutely wanted Sora, they're crazy. If you've seen myself reacting to King K. Rool was like, I lost my shit. Like, I cannot, like, the way that you see people react, like, over the top, or even my reaction with Advance Wars, that's how I reacted with K. Rool. It was a huge shock and excitement. And for me, at the end of the day, the base roster was actually more interesting than a DLC for me. Like Ridley, K. Rool, Simon, probably my 3 favourite newcomers in the game. As much as I like the DLC characters, like Terry's fantastic. Sephiroth's a lot of fun as well. For me personally, the base roster was better, and that's an argument or a debate for another day. But honestly, I had such a good time watching this reveal, because I knew that this was going to please a lot of people. Seeing that the reveal trailer was fantastic for Sora, to be fair. Like, the way that it started, the way the game originally started with the first reveal trailer with Inkling, to the final trailer with the Smash Fire and things, and it was really interestingly set up, and to see it come to fruition. Like, I'm not disappointed at all that Sora's the final character. Obviously, there are characters I would love to have in this game, like Travis Touchdown, like Doomslayer. It was nice to see Doomslayer as a Mii costume, actually. They did a nice job with that one. I'm like, yes. And that also goes to show that they are listening. Nintendo and Sakurai and his team they are listening. You think of the Mii costumes we've got in here. Sans, Cuphead. We had Shovel Knight as an amiibo. We got Travis Touchdown as a Mii Fighter costume. We've got Doomslayer as a Mii Fighter costume. Dante from... All these characters, by the way, these guys are all the ones that are going to have a shot in the next game. So, you know, 8 to 10 years down the line when they make another Smash game, all these Mii Fighter costumes and all the, like, assist trophies, that's what you want to be looking at, because they'll go back to these companies and be like, hey, you know, thank you for letting us this, and that, maybe can we put him in? Like, Doom Guy, or Doomslayer, has got more chance of getting in the next Smash game now than he did if he wasn't a Mii Fighter costume. I mean, that's ridiculous, but that's kind of what Smash does. And to see this, I'm sad that the whole of this kind of like hype cycle is come to an end. Like, I'm glad for their team that they can take a break and go and work on a different game. But wouldn't it have been nice if they got to 100 fighters? I really wanted it to be like that. I mean, I still really wanted all the past stages as well, but it's a lot of work. Development's hard, you know. This isn't stuff that's just going to materialize overnight, and they've done a fantastic job. This is the reason why this is my favorite game of all time. You know, you look at the character roster. There will never be another game with a character roster this size. And to finish it off with Sora, you know, it just works. I mean, that amazing shot at the end where him and Mario are holding hands, shaking hands, was incredible. You know, when I look at all the newcomers, this game's had more newcomers than any other game when you include the DLC and stuff. So it's like, it's just wonderful to see that. I don't know whether I'll play much to Sora. He might not be to my liking. You know, but I definitely am happy that he is in, and I will definitely play him, but he might be a bit too floaty. He looks like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I played Ness, who's floaty, but Sora looks like super floaty. But I will, when he comes out, I will be doing content on him, and that's the other thing as well, like, just because the game's over, there's content that I want to make. I want to look at just the newcomers, I want to look at just the new stages, and I want to do videos on Sora anyway, and just be like, hey, this is my thoughts on him. And I will be doing content on Smash going forward. I would like to get back to the Smash KO compilations and things, and I will more likely do other Smash content going forward. It may not be super regular, but I will definitely be doing some. But just happy the way the game's ended. Happy for everybody that's enjoyed this wild ride that has been Ultimate over the last 3 years and things, and going from the original Everyone Is Here reveal to Ridley and Daisy and Dark Samus and Chrom. I mean, you just name all the characters. It's crazy. K. Rool, and obviously all the DLC stuff. Like, it's been awesome. There is no doubt in my mind that this is on my personal level, this is the greatest game ever made. There is so much content in this game, and I'm just happy for it. I know that there will be people that are disappointed that didn't get like X character or Y character, and I understand that. But it's impossible to make everybody happy with a game like this. So, you know, if there is a character in this game that you very much enjoy that's in here, that was in the base roster and maybe not the DLC, then at least you have someone, you know. My favourite characters in the game are like probably Luigi and Ness and K. Rool. And obviously if K. Rool hadn't made it in, I'd still be happy with Ness and Luigi. But, you know, I get it that some people wanted a lot more Sonic representation, some people wanted, you know, other characters like Dante from Devil May Cry and things like that, and I get it. But it's just how it's ended up. It's ended up being that these are the choices that Nintendo have put forward, or Sakurai has chosen, that have worked out. And you know, you've got to look at things like Banjo-Kazooie. That's a huge get, and things like Steve. Like, nobody expected that. You know, that was such a shock. I mean, it broke Twitter. And then, you know, Sora and Sephiroth and stuff with Square seems to be difficult. Maybe next time we'll get a lot less Square reps. You know, you think about these companies, you've got like Namco and Capcom, and they would have had plenty. I mean, I genuinely expected a Monster Hunter character to get into Smash, so, but here we are at the final of it, and like, I'm just, you know, thank you to the Sakurai and his team for making this game as great as it could possibly be. And there will always be haters, and there will always be people complaining about something, but you know what, I am super satisfied with how this game is, how it has ended, and the amount of content here. Going forward, I hope that they do come back to make another Smash game, you know, in time. I hope this isn't Sakurai's last one, because he obviously puts all this time and effort in, but I do think it will be about, at minimum, about 8 years, I think what we're in, 2021 now. So, I reckon we're probably not going to see one until, like, 2028. 2029. I think that'll be whenever the next console ends up coming out. They'll make a Smash for that, but it'll be middle of its cycle. So maybe it won't be as long as 8 years. Maybe it'll be more like 6 years, but I still think it's going to be a while. But yeah, overall, I'm just happy that things are the way they are in the world with Smash. Like, great way to finish it. Just stupid amounts of content, and overall, just sad that it's going away, but happy that, you know, they've made such a brilliant product, and that most people have been, you know, delighted by it. Anyways, that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, then hit the subscribe button down below. And then, obviously, the links for Facebook, Twitter will be down below in the description, as always. And until next video, I will see you then.